What if the very essence of your humanity, everything you've been told about who you are, is nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion? Uncovering this truth could unlock unimaginable potential within you, freeing you from the invisible chains of societal control and catapulting you into a reality beyond your wildest dreams. Prepare to question everything. What if the life you're living isn't the real you, but a character in a play, unaware of the script or the audience? We're about to embark on a journey, shedding the layers of this constructed reality to reveal the authentic, powerful being you were always meant to be. This isn't just about understanding a new concept. It's about reclaiming your true self, a self that exists beyond the limitations of this three-dimensional world. We will uncover the path from Hue-Man, a being of color and illusion trapped in a limited perception, to a fully realized 5D conscious entity. Throughout this journey, we'll use a powerful metaphor, the simulation. Imagine our world as a complex computer program, complete with rules, restrictions, and hidden code. Just as a skilled programmer can hack into a system, we too can learn to manipulate the code of our reality, bending it to our will and transcending its limitations. Remember The Matrix. It was more than just a movie. It was a glimpse into the potential artificiality of our existence, a hint that the world around us might not be as solid as it seems. Are you ready to unplug? But who created this simulation, and why? The answer, as you might suspect, is complex and multifaceted. A key element in understanding our perceived reality is the concept of societal programming, the subtle but pervasive forces that shape our beliefs and behaviors from childhood. Think about the institutions that influence your life: education systems, media outlets, governmental bodies. Are they truly serving your best interests, or are they subtly manipulating you to conform to a predetermined agenda? Consider how advertising, for instance, doesn't just sell products. It sells lifestyles, insecurities, and a constant need for external validation. This incessant bombardment of messages keeps us trapped in a cycle of consumerism and conformity, further obscuring our true potential. The journey from Hue-Man to 5D consciousness is not merely an intellectual exercise. It's a path to unlocking your inherent power. Imagine tapping into abilities you never knew you possessed. Heightened intuition, the capacity to manifest your desires, even the potential for telepathy or remote viewing. These aren't just fantasies. They're glimpses of what becomes possible when we transcend the limitations of our physical senses and embrace the boundless potential of our consciousness. This is about more than just personal gain. It's about breaking free from the control grid that seeks to keep humanity enslaved, a system that benefits from our ignorance and compliance. By understanding the true nature of reality, we can dismantle these structures and create a more just and equitable world for all. This quest demands a fundamental reevaluation of everything you thought you knew. Are you ready to question the narratives you've been fed about science, history, and religion? To consider that much of what we accept as fact may be based on incomplete, distorted, or even deliberately falsified information. The journey to awakening is a process of deconstruction, of dismantling the false edifice of beliefs that has been built around you since birth. At its heart, this exploration is about awakening to a higher reality. It's about shedding the illusions of the 3D world and ascending to a state of being characterized by greater awareness, compassion, and interconnectedness. Think of it as breaking free from the chains of illusion, emerging from the darkness into the light, and finally seeing the world with new eyes. This video serves as a roadmap for that journey, a guide to navigating the treacherous terrain of the mind and ultimately reclaiming your true, divine self. Before we dive into the specifics, let's establish some groundwork. What is reality, anyway? Is it the tangible world we perceive through our senses, or is it something more? Philosophers, spiritual leaders, and scientists have pondered this question for centuries, offering a multitude of perspectives. Materialism suggests that reality is solely composed of physical matter, while idealism posits that reality is fundamentally mental or spiritual. Quantum physics, with its mind-bending concepts like superposition and entanglement, suggests that reality is far more fluid and subjective than we typically assume. To guide us on this journey, we'll be using a framework of 7 distinct stages, each representing a key step in the ascension from Hue-Man to 5D consciousness. These stages are: 1. The amnesiac Hue-Man unaware of their true nature. 2. The awakening questioning the perceived reality. 3. The seeker actively searching for knowledge. 4. The deconstructor dismantling limiting beliefs. 5. The reprogrammer consciously changing one's thoughts and behaviors. 6. The integrator balancing the physical and spiritual aspects of existence. And 7. The 5D conscious being living a life of purpose and profound clarity. Throughout our exploration, we'll be weaving together 3 primary knowledge threads: metaphysics, quantum physics, and spirituality. Quantum physics reveals that the observer influences reality. Metaphysics dives deep into the nature of consciousness, and spirituality offers practices for personal transformation. These threads, when interwoven, offer a profound understanding of ourselves and our perceived world. Keep an eye out for recurring patterns, like light and color symbolism. In this framework, dull or muted colors are often associated with the limited awareness of the 3D world, while vibrant, iridescent hues represent the expanded consciousness of the 5D realm. These are not arbitrary associations. They are symbolic representations of the energetic frequencies that correspond to different states of being. So, let's ask ourselves some fundamental questions. If everything you've been told is a lie, then who are you really? Can you truly trust your senses to accurately perceive reality? There's a hidden truth about human potential, a truth that has been suppressed for far too long. What if you have the power to transcend the limitations of the physical body, to access higher dimensions of consciousness, and to create a reality that aligns with your highest aspirations? Consider this. Your body is merely a vessel, a temporary vehicle for your consciousness to experience this reality. Self-care practices for your body are not just about physical health. They are also powerful tools for spiritual growth. What techniques are there for reprogramming yourself? What specific historical events have shed light on the nature of societal control? These are just a few of the questions we'll be exploring as we delve deeper into the 7 stages of ascension. So, let's begin our journey into the first stage, the amnesiac Hue-Man. What does it mean to be a Hue-Man? Imagine a character in a play, utterly convinced of their role, completely unaware of the stage, the script, or the audience beyond. This is the Hue-Man, a being fully immersed in the sensory experience of the 3D world, mistaking the map for the territory. They are so deeply entrenched in the physical that they have forgotten their true potential, their connection to something far greater. Think of a vibrant painting slowly fading, its colors becoming muted and dull. The Hue-Man exists in this faded state, perceiving only a narrow spectrum of reality, blind to the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond their limited senses. They are walking through life in a daze, unaware of the invisible chains that bind them. What if you woke up and realized that the world around you was nothing more than a mirage? At the heart of the Hue-Man's limited perception lies the illusion of the senses. Our senses, which we often consider reliable windows to the world, are in fact intricate filters that selectively process information. Consider the electromagnetic spectrum. The human eye can only perceive a minuscule fraction of it, a narrow band of visible light. Beyond this limited range lies a vast ocean of unseen energies: infrared, ultraviolet, radio waves, gamma rays, all vibrating at frequencies beyond our normal sensory capacity. We are effectively blind to these realms, like fish unaware of the world beyond the surface of the water. Our ears are similarly limited, only able to detect a specific range of sound frequencies. What if entire symphonies of cosmic information are playing out all around us, unheard and unnoticed? Sensory deprivation experiments have shown that when these filters are removed, even temporarily, The mind can access altered states of consciousness and perceive realities beyond the ordinary. This brings us to the concept of the body as a sensory prison. While the body allows us to experience this 3D reality, it also acts as a limiting factor, confining our consciousness to a specific range of perception. Think of the body as a complex spacesuit, perfectly designed to navigate a particular environment, but also isolating us from the vastness of space. The suit provides protection, but it also restricts movement and limits sensory input. In the same way, our bodies, with their limited senses, create a boundary between our consciousness and the wider universe. But what if this boundary isn't as impenetrable as we think? What if we could learn to bypass these limitations, to expand our senses and perceive the unseen world around us? Could technology be used to open the doors of perception, or would it act as another chain? Imagine an entire universe of unseen energies and dimensions coexisting with our own, vibrating at frequencies beyond our current capacity to perceive. Quantum entanglement, for example, demonstrates an instantaneous connection between particles, regardless of the distance separating them. This connection exists outside the realm of our everyday sensory experience, yet it is a fundamental aspect of reality. What if our limited senses prevent us from fully grasping the interconnectedness of all things? What if developing our intuition and inner senses is the key to unlocking these hidden realms? What if the world you see is only a tiny fraction of what's really there, a mere shadow of a much grander reality? But the sensory illusion is only one aspect of the Hue-Man's imprisonment. There's another, even more insidious force at play: societal programming. From the moment we are born, we are bombarded with messages, beliefs, and values designed to shape our thoughts, behaviors, and perceptions. Institutions like education, media, and government act as invisible chains, subtly guiding us toward conformity and obedience. Think about the education system. Does it truly encourage critical thinking and creativity, or does it primarily focus on memorization and standardized testing, effectively training us to be compliant workers in a predetermined system? Consider how advertising relentlessly programs our desires and aspirations. It tells us what we should want, what we should look like, and how we should live our lives, constantly reinforcing a sense of lack and inadequacy. It's like a form of subliminal messaging, directly implanting code into our subconscious minds, keeping us trapped in a cycle of consumerism and the relentless pursuit of external validation. What if the very foundations of our society are built upon a system of control designed to keep us in a state of perpetual amnesia, unaware of our true potential and our inherent power? Is the technology we surround ourselves with just another distraction keeping us locked in the on position? The stakes are incredibly high. Societal programming leads to a profound loss of authentic self. We are conditioned to believe we are something we are not, preventing us from realizing our true potential and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Think about the countless individuals who spend their lives chasing someone else's definition of success, sacrificing their own passions and desires in the process. They become cogs in the machine, sleepwalking through life, never truly questioning the path they are on. Are you living your own life, or are you living a life that has been programmed for you? Have you ever stopped to question why you believe what you believe? Societal programming creates an illusion of choice, a carefully constructed facade that makes us believe we are free to make our own decisions. Political systems, for example, often present us with limited options, all of which ultimately serve the interests of the elite. We are given the illusion of democracy, while the real power remains concentrated in the hands of a few. The media, controlled by a handful of corporations, carefully curates the information we receive, shaping our perceptions of the world and reinforcing the dominant narrative. Consider how easily public opinion can be swayed by propaganda and misinformation, particularly in times of crisis. We are constantly bombarded with carefully crafted messages designed to manipulate our emotions and influence our behavior. Are your choices really your own, or are they the product of years of subtle conditioning? But what happens when a crack appears in the illusion, when the carefully constructed reality begins to crumble? This brings us to stage 2, the awakening. The awakening is that moment of realization that something is not right, a deep-seated feeling that the world we perceive is not all that it seems. It's a questioning of conventional beliefs and assumptions, a dawning awareness that the matrix is not as solid as we once believed. It's like waking up from a dream, feeling a sense of disorientation and confusion as you try to reconcile the dream world with the reality you now perceive. Imagine suddenly seeing the code, recognizing the artificial nature of reality, and realizing that you have been living a lie. It could be triggered by a personal tragedy, a profound insight, or exposure to alternative information that shatters your previously held beliefs. Perhaps you stumble upon a documentary that exposes the hidden agendas behind political events, or you read a book that challenges your understanding of history. The world starts to look different, the colors seem less vibrant, and the familiar patterns of everyday life begin to feel strange and unsettling. The awakening can be a deeply uncomfortable and disorienting experience. Questioning deeply held beliefs can be unsettling and even frightening, as it challenges our sense of identity and our place in the world. What happens when you realize everything you thought was true is a lie? Can you handle the truth, even if it shatters your reality? This discomfort is a necessary part of the journey, a catalyst for growth and transformation. Embracing the discomfort is the first step towards breaking free from the limitations of the Hue-Man state. But remember, this is just the beginning. The path to reprogramming awaits. It is possible to rewrite your subconscious mind, change your limiting beliefs, and create a life of freedom and authenticity. We will delve deeper into the techniques and practices that can help you hack the code and create a new reality. But for now, know that the power to change your life lies within you. Tools exist to help you on your journey. So where do you begin? Your first actionable step is simple, yet profound. Question everything. Challenge the assumptions that underpin your reality. Start by questioning your beliefs about success, happiness, and identity. Explore alternative perspectives and philosophies. Read books, watch documentaries, and engage in conversations with people who hold different viewpoints. Cultivate a spirit of intellectual curiosity and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Don't just accept what you are told. Seek out the truth for yourself. Cultivate critical thinking skills. Learn to research information from multiple sources, identify logical fallacies, and challenge authority. Be wary of confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out information that confirms your existing beliefs while ignoring evidence to the contrary. Seek out opposing viewpoints and try to understand the reasoning behind them. Engage in respectful debate and be willing to change your mind when presented with compelling evidence. There are resources available for you to sharpen your discernment. Think of this act of questioning as turning on a light in a dark room, illuminating the hidden corners of reality. It's like planting a seed of rebellion in the garden of conformity, a seed that will eventually grow into a powerful force for change. Each question you ask is a step towards reclaiming your mind and taking control of your own destiny. You must become a rebel against the programming. Remember, the awakening is only the beginning of a long and challenging journey. There will be many more obstacles and challenges to overcome along the way. There will be times when you feel lost, confused, and overwhelmed. But know that you are not alone on this path. Many others have walked this road before you, and their experiences can provide guidance and inspiration. Be patient, persistent, and self-compassionate. The journey to awakening is a marathon, not a sprint. So breathe, take a step forward, and embrace the unknown. This is how you transform from a Hue-Man into the Seeker. As the Seeker begins to walk their path, they soon realize that this is just one step on a staircase to enlightenment. Each step forward is a stage, defined and characterized by you. So let's briefly look at our staircase, these 7 stages from amnesiac Hue-Man to 5D conscious being. that define your path. We begin with the Hue-Man, fully immersed in the illusion, mistaking the map for the territory, like most of the population today. Then comes the awakening, a crack in the facade of the manufactured reality, a sense that something isn't quite right. This propels you to become the seeker, actively searching for truth and meaning, exploring different philosophies and perspectives. As you gather information, you become the deconstructor, critically examining societal programming and dismantling limiting beliefs, tearing down the walls of the false reality. With a cleared space, you become the reprogrammer, intentionally rewriting your beliefs and behaviors to align with a higher consciousness. Next is the integrator, balancing the physical and spiritual, grounding your newfound awareness in everyday life. This path culminates in the 5D conscious being, living from a place of expanded awareness, intuition, and profound interconnectedness. And so now I ask you, dear viewer, where do you see yourself on this path? Remember our simulation metaphor. Consider that the rules of this simulated reality are not fixed, they're programmable. By understanding these rules, the power of belief, the law of attraction, the interconnectedness of consciousness, we can begin to hack the system and create our own experiences. Think back to the light and color symbolism. As we ascend, we perceive a wider spectrum of reality. We are quite literally becoming more colorful, more vibrant, seeing beyond the limited grayscale of the Hue-Man. We shift from black and white thinking to experiencing the full spectrum of possibility. The simulation isn't a prison, it's a playground waiting for us to learn the controls. The core realization then is this: the limitations we perceive, the confines of our bodies, the restrictions of societal norms are not absolute. They're constructs, lines drawn in the sand of consciousness. Our senses, those filters we often take for granted, create the illusion of separation, of a world out there, distinct from ourselves. But once we understand this, we reclaim our power. We step out of the shadows and into the light of awareness. We begin to see the world not as a fixed reality, but as a fluid, ever-changing reflection of our own consciousness. This is not merely an intellectual exercise, it's a call to reclaim your creative inheritance. Shift your perspective from that of a passive observer to an active co-creator. Embrace your capacity to sculpt your reality, to infuse your life with intention, and to contribute to a world awakened. Understand that your beliefs are not passive observations. They are active directives shaping the unfolding of your experience. By consciously choosing empowering beliefs, you seize control of the narrative and begin authoring a new chapter, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. But individual ascension doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's inextricably linked to the evolution of collective consciousness. As more individuals awaken, as more of us begin to question the illusion and embrace our true potential, humanity as a whole moves closer to a higher state of being. It's a ripple effect, a rising tide that lifts all boats. Forget the dystopian future. We're heading towards a world where compassion, empathy, and collaboration become the driving forces of society. And what about our physical form? Is it a barrier, a limitation? Think of the body not as a prison, but as a vehicle for ascension. It's the instrument through which we experience and navigate this 3D reality. Taking care of our bodies through mindful nourishment, movement, and rest enhances our ability to access higher states of consciousness. Just as a finely tuned instrument produces the purest sound, a healthy body allows for the clearest expression of consciousness. Remember bio-individuality. We're all unique, with different needs and preferences, but the goal remains the same: to optimize our physical vessel for the journey ahead. With this knowledge comes a profound sense of responsibility. We are each accountable for the reality we create, for the thoughts we cultivate, the beliefs we embrace, and the actions we undertake. This is not a burden, but an empowerment. We are not victims of circumstance, but active agents in our own evolution. By taking ownership of our inner world, we gain the capacity to positively influence the world around us. Start with your own sphere of influence, your family, your community, your workplace, and let your actions radiate outward, creating a wave of positive change. Ultimately, this journey is about living a life of purpose. It's about aligning with your true values, pursuing your passions, and embracing your unique gifts and talents. By doing so, you contribute to the evolution of consciousness, you inspire others to awaken, and you create a more fulfilling existence, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. So, let's return to the question we posed at the beginning. Are you truly human? Can you break free from the illusion, embrace your true potential, and ascend to a higher state of consciousness? The answer, I believe, is a resounding yes. The tools are available, the path is illuminated, and the power lies within you. Think of the process of ascension as debugging the simulation. We identify the limiting programs, the negative beliefs, the self-sabotaging behaviors, and we systematically remove them. We create a new operating system for our lives, one based on love, compassion, and limitless possibility. See yourself as the programmer of your own experience. You have the power to rewrite the code, to create a reality that aligns with your highest vision. Start small, with daily affirmations, visualizations, and acts of self-care. Over time, these practices will transform your subconscious mind and reshape your external reality. And so, we arrive at the fundamental question: who am I? We are not merely our physical bodies, our social roles, or our past experiences. We are infinite beings of consciousness, sparks of the divine, with unlimited potential. We are not limited to what we perceive, but capable of perceiving far beyond what we have been taught to believe. Focus on what you are, boundless awareness experiencing itself through the lens of a unique individual. Embrace the unknown with trust. The journey of ascension is not always easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But know that you are not alone, and that the universe is conspiring to support your growth. Release your fears, surrender to the flow, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. The path ahead may be uncertain, but it is also filled with wonder, joy, and endless possibilities. What, then, is the nature of 5D reality? What does it mean to live in a state of expanded consciousness? These are the questions that await us, the next frontier of our exploration. Engage in meditation, contemplation, and direct experience. Go beyond the conceptual and dive into the depths of your own being. The answers are not out there, but within. Imagine a world where compassion reigns, where justice prevails, and where sustainability guides our actions. As more individuals ascend to higher states of awareness, society as a whole will reflect this transformation. New forms of governance, technology, and social organization will emerge, based on cooperation, empathy, and respect for all life. Connect with others. Find your tribe, your soul family, those who resonate with your journey and support your growth. Share your insights, exchange your experiences, and create a community of like-minded individuals. Search online for forums, groups, or local events. The journey of ascension is amplified when shared. And so, as we reach our conclusion, what are your next steps? Explore the recommended books, delve deeper into the suggested websites, embrace the practices that resonate with you, and seek out mentors who can guide you along the way. But more than anything, trust your intuition, listen to your heart, and follow the path that feels true to you. And know that this is not the end, but merely the beginning of an extraordinary adventure. And keep an eye out for future videos, where we will continue to dive deeper into this reality.